Every year, there's a team that thinks it's just a player away, one more receiver, one more weapon, and that team in 2025 seems to be the Pittsburgh Steelers, a team that lives between tradition and the anxiety of becoming great again, that seeks its place in an AFC increasingly loaded with offensive talent. And now with the movements, whether real or speculated, it's impossible not to ask the question, is it worth pursuing another wide receiver? The name that has come up now is Tutu Atwell, a speedster, an explosive player, a vertical target who showed flashes in Los Angeles but never established himself as a central piece in Sean McVay's offense. And it makes sense. After the arrival of Davante Adams and with Puka Nacua dominating space and targets, how much time will Atwell actually have on the field? And if he's just going to be a role player, why not listen to offers? And that's where Pittsburgh could come in, because the Steelers are not sitting still. They traded for Pickens, brought in Metcalf, talked to the Saints about Chris Olave, with the Dolphins about Jonnu Smith, and even called the Falcons about Kyle Pitts. In other words, they are looking for weapons. They are trying to shape a new offense around Justin Fields and a new playbook, and if Atwell is available at an affordable price, it's natural for his name to come up in discussions. If you're enjoying this conversation, make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and comment below. Would you like to see Tutu Atwell with the Steelers, or is it better to save draft capital for another need? Let's talk about fit. Atwell is not a WR1, and he probably never will be, but he can be a deadly complement alongside an alpha like Metcalf. He can stretch the field, open up space in the back of the defense, and create mismatches against nickelbacks and safeties. Additionally, if used creatively, he can be a weapon in screens, motion reverses, and even in light ground game. He's the kind of player who needs the right system, and with Matt Canada out and a new offensive command coming in, maybe Pittsburgh will finally find a more modern and fast identity, but it has to be weighed. Atwell is in the last year of his contract. Are you going to give up a draft pick for a guy who could leave in a few months? Are you going to compromise the rotation for a name that hasn't shown consistency yet? Or is it worth the gamble thinking that if he succeeds, the return could be well above the investment? On the Rams side, the interest in trading makes total sense. They no longer need Atwell. With Adams, Nacua, Tyler Higbee, and Kyren Williams as Stafford's primary targets, the space for a secondary WR dramatically decreases. And if they can turn this frozen asset into a future pick, especially with Stetson Bennett or another young QB possibly taking over in 2026, it's a logical decision. In the end, this is not about names. It's about needs. The Steelers want speed, separation, versatility, and Atwell offers that. He's not a star, but he could be a key piece in a new offense. The Rams need to capitalize while they can, and this trade, even if small in scale, could be surgical for the fate of two teams. Sometimes the move that seems minor is the one that at the right moment changes a decisive drive, and if Pittsburgh really dives into this idea, they could be digging up a hidden advantage in a player who has been poorly utilized so far. But if they just sit back, boy, they might watch other teams running on the horizon.